This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Bradley Summers, and today my first guest is Christine Witalski from the Besser Museum for Northeast Michigan. Hi, Chris.
Good morning. You almost caught yourself, Jessie Besser Museum.
Yes.
We still get that a lot, and you know what? We love it because we still love Jessie Besser, and we love the Besser Foundation, and we love the legacy that he left for this community. So
right,
yeah.
And it's more evident today almost than it was, you know, 60, 70, 80 years ago.
Yeah.
With that whole corridor and the projects that are going on, and the vision of the community and human services, and amazing things that are going on, especially with your organization. You know, as we sit here today, you know, you had a successful log cabin day.
Absolutely. You know, I realized I've been doing this for so long, but it just hit me that, yes, Log Cabin Day really does kick off our summer. You know, we bring in so many people for that, and we have so many demonstrations. It's the one time a year that all of our historic buildings are open. People love that, and unfortunately, they can't be open all the time because there are a lot of artifacts in there, and so we try to make them, when it's not Log Cabin Day, accessible, where people can either look through the windows, or we have a brochure that tells you about those historic buildings, all over 100 years old, all from Alpena County. And so we just love having our little village out there, and our Great Lakes Fisheries Heritage. You know, we have the 2 boats, and Hammond Bay came down with their sea lamprey. That's always a lot of fun.
Cool.
But you can still do self-guided tours throughout those boat areas, but it's the one time a year too that the boats are kind of open and accessible to the community. But yeah, it kicks off our summer, and we just love people from all over Northeast Michigan and beyond coming to the Besser Museum. And the one thing I love, and I'm hearing so much of, is I didn't know you guys were here. This is amazing. Right. This is the best discovery. Oh my gosh, you know, so yeah, we love hearing that.
You know, and the artifacts that are in the log cabins and the village behind your building, they're incredible. It's cool to take a walk back in history and have something like this and a resource so close to us here, that hopefully if no one out there has actually seen this, they need to go and see this.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and you know, people are surprised because we are art, history, and science, and we do have the only planetarium in northern Michigan, and so those are great assets that people are just really surprised to learn about. And you know, we have been in transition, you know, for quite some time, and it's something new all the time. And what's new coming up is our juried art show. So we changed the dates. It used to always be in the fall. Now it's in the summer. And so just a reminder to your listeners that we are accepting juried art entries July 24th through July 31st.
Cool.
So that's a new summer program. Our juried art exhibit this year is being judged by Ann Gildner. Cool. She's up from Sheboygan. She is the artist in residence for the Industrial Art Institute out of Onaway, the welding program there. And so she got involved with them a few years ago and found her love for welding art sculptures. But she has a really good art background for years, and so she's going to be our juror. And then the exhibit itself will open in August. So we have a lot of openings, like August 12th. August 12th is our juried art opening, and then Diane English won last year's juried art. So she'll have her solo exhibit opening August 12th. And then we also have the Alpena News. They are celebrating 125 years of being in business, the longest business in Alpena. And so we're going to do an exhibit of their kind of history. And it's really nice because their graphic art department is kind of putting the layout together. I know they're going to have a special edition, and then we'll also do an exhibit. And we're working with the library with that too. The library has some really good printing equipment there. So between the Alpena News and the Georgian Fletcher Library and the Besser Museum, we're going to celebrate 125 years of the Alpena News.
Wow, what a great collaboration on an awesome project.
Yes.
125 years.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
And people don't realize, yeah, they're the longest running business. So.
And it makes sense too. I mean,
Yes.
it's a publication, and people need to be informed of news.
Absolutely. Well, that was one of the things when we were working on and are working on our Discover Northeast Michigan History exhibit, is reaching out to Justin and saying, we want to include the Alpena News. We are going to be punching a hole through the wall of our new exhibit into the Avenue of Shops. So the Avenue of Shops has been there for a long time, and we will add the Alpena News because it used to be called the Argus. I think there was a couple different newspapers back in the day, and they published like morning and night. And the News, it's one of, in our Bill of Rights, like the free press, and it really has heralded the news and informed the public forever. It's very important, and people don't realize that because we take it for granted.
Well, yeah, and especially nowadays where everything's through a phone or electronic, and it's always great to have that tangible newspaper, and be able to cut things out and celebrate, the donations that you may receive, or see what's going on in the community.
Yeah.
And that's how we stay connected.
Yes.
So,
well, in Darby's Lifestyle newspaper, that article, it was Diane for the long time, and now it's Darby. And we both know from nonprofits how invaluable that is to helping get the word out of what's going on. And really that page is probably one of the most read. They go from the front page to the lifestyles and then back and forth in between, what's there. And so, yeah, it's really nice to be a part of that celebration. And a lot of people don't realize, or maybe they don't know, that a lot of the Alpena newspaper is digitized and held in the library, at the library. So you can go talk with Don Labar down there if you're ever doing some research. And so we have some of it, but they really have the bulk of it.
Well, Chris, unfortunately, it's already the end of our time, and
Always.
I know the next time that you're on the show, I really want to talk about the new exhibits and the project that you have going on. And I'm sure a lot of people in the community are aware and hopefully supporting as well. But please reach out to you at the museum for that support and ask questions.
Yeah. So we're going to do another new big splash in January. We're in our schematic design phase, and that is going well. We have a large committee, 17 people, so we have a lot of input. And we had the first schematic design, we're going to the second, and in January we'll have our final. So that's when we'll really do an open house, bring the public in, let them see what we're doing, also share where we're at with our funding needs. Funding has been really terrific. We've got a lot of support, but as you know, there's always that last little bit. And so we'll be talking to you around January. I know that's a little time, but it will be here before you know it.
Before you know it.
Enjoy your summer.
Well, thank you so much, and you enjoy your summer as well. I appreciate you being on today.
Thanks, Fred.
Stay tuned after the break for Stephanie Gondula with the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Welcome back, everyone. And as you can see, my next guest is not Stephanie Gondula from the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, but today we have Jeff Gray, the superintendent of the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, and a very special guest today, Dr. Robert Burns from the West Virginia University, and a whole bunch of awesome things that you do underneath your name tag on your shirts. But we'll get into that too as we move forward here. So today, just kind of what we were talking about just a little bit before the show was some of the opportunities that are being brought to the Alpena area through the specific partnership with NOAA. And that is why Dr. Robert Burns is sitting here as well as bringing some of those resources to us. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, sure can. Thanks for having us on. It's great to be here. And we're thrilled to have Robert with us in the partnership we're doing. And what we're doing with Robert is really two different distinct things, but really do kind of come together with what the sanctuary's mission is. And first is he's trying to help us get a sense of the economic impact of the sanctuary. And we're trying to do that so we can bring more resources in to grow our programs, but also inspire some other places to potentially designate sanctuaries. And so starting next year, we're going to kind of do an assessment of what the economic impact of our programs are, the visitor center, the diving, all of that comes together, and how that's making this community a better place to live, work, and visit. And you think of the cruise ships coming in this year. We're on our 7th cruise ship already this season, 400 people a time. We got 20 cruise ships coming in this year. There's a lot of things happening right now.
Man, it's incredible. You know, the Glass Bottom Boat really brings a lot of people in, and it's such a great way to explore the area that's around us.
Yeah.
You know, we take advantage sometimes that we live here.
It's right in our own backyard, and you know, one of my best part of my job is to get to share this amazing place with people that live here, guests and kids. I mean, we bring all those things together. You mentioned the Glass Bottom Boat. Big news this week that the Glass Bottom Boat is here to stay. Howie said Munising, Michigan on the back, and that changed. It says Alpena, Michigan, working with Jeff Konchek and his team. Now that boat will be here forever, partnering with our Friends Group. And a second boat now, there'll be a kayak boat that will take people out on kayak excursions. We're hoping that will start later this summer. So growing the capacity for tourism, but you know, we've talked a million times, it's not just for tourists, it's for our residents, but then also for our kids.
Yeah, and you know, and speaking of the kids, you know, one of the wonderful opportunities that we'll talk about here is bringing youth from different areas into our region to highlight some of these wonderful things that, you know, we may not or may take advantage of. But you know, the getting out on kayak excursions, going out and seeing the Great Lakes and rivers and waterways, and kids from Flint or from Saginaw or Midland specifically, you know, we're having that opportunity to discuss opportunities to bring kids from Flint up here to Alpena. To see what our areas are from other boys and girls clubs.
Well, and I think that's what Dr. Burns, Robert here, the reason this is so cool. We have Alpena trying to partner with Flint and Saginaw, and West Virginia's helping us do it. I mean, that's real cool. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Appreciate being here and the opportunity to chat with you all. So we have a really unique opportunity because we're funded by the National Science Foundation. And the whole point of this National Science Foundation, or NSF grant, is to bring underserved populations to the blue economy, which matches what Jeff was saying earlier, where we need to understand the economic impact. We need to understand the valuation that local and guests place on Alpena and the lake and the coastline. At the same time, we want to focus on children. We want to focus on youth. So we have this unique opportunity to provide funding to bring students to these camps so that they can participate for free. The National Marine Sanctuary has some great local teachers and instructors, and so I really think it's coming together, and we're looking forward to investing more into this community.
Yeah, well, thank you, you know, for, you know, seeing the value of the area that we live in. We see it every day, you know, and to have someone, you know, seeing what's going on and wanting to invest their time and funds, and, you know, those resources to us are extraordinarily important. You know, and providing that for the kids, you know, that are the next generation that are going to steward these relationships and steward what's going on is so vital and important to our area. And I can't thank you enough for being here.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. You know, I get up early in the morning, go downtown, have a cup of coffee, and I see the city is sweeping the streets and watering the plants. It's just a very beautiful setting, and I'm happy to work with the Marine Sanctuary and the local community.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. The funding we got for this just last week and coming up the next few weeks, it's local kids that are doing these camps, so it's about the local students as well. In August, we're going to then try to bring in these other kids and do them side by side with the local kids. So it's helping this community. It's bringing these outsiders in really to promote this awesome place.
Well, and I'm always amazed too, like the instruction that's going on in our school systems, about the shipwrecks, and about the biggest thing, and what's really near and dear to me personally, is the stewardship of where we live, of learning how to take care of these things and learning that there are resources out there, not just in the Alpena area, that can help find these resources. You know, when a kid is trying to do a cleanup project or something along those lines, knowing that they're not alone, that there's other people that are trying to do this. And, you know, then all of a sudden you see wonderful people like Meg Schwartz that, you know, steps up and is doing all these wonderful things in our community and beyond, and being recognized nationally for those kind of initiatives. And our younger population sees that. You know, but it starts with Noah. You know.
Well, I mean, that cruise ship sitting out there, you think of that, these are people that can travel anywhere in the world, and they're stopping in Alpena in Northeast Michigan. And I will tell you, I'm on the dock every single day when they're leaving, and they love what they see. I mean, like, people really are enjoying this stop. It's one of their top-rated stops, and we're comparing that to Mackinac and Duluth and Milwaukee, Cleveland, like Detroit. It's and Alpena is ranking, 1 or 2 in the top stops they're doing. So sometimes we take for granted what we have, but it's a great reminder how special it is and what we need to do to protect it so we can enjoy it and future generations can enjoy it.
Well, and as we all know too, there's the business owners that are downtown are just extraordinarily friendly human beings.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nice because these people are actually, they're going down, visiting these shops, and we have a lot of family-owned businesses, and there aren't a lot of the big corporate businesses here. It's family-run or individual run, and to have that support where people are coming in and having that attention is, that economic development is extraordinarily important.
Yeah. And that data we're going to get, again, it's not just about knowing what the impact is, but how we can take my anecdotal stories I tell and put the real data next to it to help bring more and more resources here for our students, to bring more visitors, to help build businesses, and it'll really snowball.
Yeah, and I'd add, what we want to do is leverage funding. If they have a little bit of funding, we can achieve some additional funding and leverage that and really make a difference. And we look at Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary as kind of a demonstration site because everything is set. The community's involved. The local folks are really interested in what's happening. Guests are coming here, so lots of opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so very much for being on here. I look forward to seeing that data set and seeing what that impact is. I know it's going to be immense, but it'll be nice to have that information behind it too, to kind of give it a little more validity.
Yep.
But again, thank you both so much for being here. Thank you for your support in our area, and look forward to future conversations. And Jeff,
we'll
always my friend.
We'll see you next month. Yeah.
I'll see you soon. Stay tuned after the break for Don McMaster in the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. And as we're nearing the end of our fiscal year at ACC, we run from July 1 through June 30th. I would like to share with you some thoughts that I pulled together on some of the highlights of the year. Some of my impressions. I think it was, in many ways, an absolutely historic year. And an entirely credit goes to staff and students. And I would like to share with you kind of my thoughts on this. So this is begins at graduation or commencement. Commencement this year at Alpena Community College was a festive affair. Toward the end of the ceremony, after the speeches and handshakes and passing out diplomas, standing at the podium, I asked the graduates to stand and face the crowd of family, friends, and loved ones who helped them complete this stage of their higher educational journey. The noise rose in a wave you could feel in your chest. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, I present to you the graduates of the class of 2023. After about 15 seconds of clamor and excitement, a throaty, triumphant chant germinated within the student body that spread quickly through Park Arena. ACC, ACC, ACC. Gazing out on the throng of cheering parents, loved ones, faculty, staff, students, and friends, graduates, 700 seated in chairs on the gym floor, another 800 in the bleachers, all smiling and making joyful noise, it occurred to me how blessed we are to be in this business. And after 70 years, how relevant Alpena Community College continues to be to the people of Northeast Lower Michigan. So higher education in Northeast Lower Michigan is characterized by two challenging demographics: a declining number of high school graduates and an aging population. Over the past 45 years, the number of high school graduates in the region has declined more than 60%. It's across the region. Some pockets more, some places slightly less, but that's the decline. Despite the demographic challenges, ACC's financial position is strong. It's never been better, and its enrollment remains stable. In a declining enrollment environment statewide, I would say many of the other areas of the state are now beginning to experience what we've been dealing with for the past 45 years. ACC was #1 in enrollment growth among Michigan's 28 community colleges this past semester, up more than 11% compared to spring semester 2022. That's when we were coming out of COVID. Based on the most recent IPEDS, this is an acronym that stands for Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System. That's a report that all colleges do. A national clearinghouse of comparable data sets applied across all community colleges and public universities nationally. ACC was #1 among Michigan community colleges with 42% of first-time full-time students completing it on 150% of time from their first enrollment. I think 42% is an ACC record as far back as we could go. How does a small rural remote community college remain relevant? We work together, seek opportunity, innovate, and we focus on student success. Using WebEx technology, we deliver dual enrollment and early college coursework to 25 K-12s from the Upper Peninsula to Eau Gray, a 230-mile footprint north to south. Through the Michigan Transfer Agreement, we partner and transfer with four-year universities across the state, often seeing data documenting that ACC transfer students achieve higher GPAs than students who began at the transfer institution. ACC offers unique occupational programs leading directly to employment that draw students from across Michigan and in some cases the Midwest, and in some cases internationally. Three notable examples are utility tech, that's the line workers program, concrete technology, and the LPN-RN nursing programs, now with cohorts on Alpena and Oscoda campuses. Both programs' enrollment has really skyrocketed, and it is, we are anticipating more than 100 students, nursing students, across both campuses, 85 on Alpena and 18 in Oscoda. ACC also provided leadership statewide to partner with Saginaw Valley State University to offer a Bachelor of Science in Nursing credential here in Alpena, beginning fall semester 2023, this coming semester. Here are some institutional highlights, just bullet points. Opened the $1.6 million Fitzpatrick Hall, began the $3.5 million Center for Manufacturing Excellence project. That's an upgrade of the welding and manufacturing labs. Or fielded our first ACC baseball team in 50 years. Received a shout out by Governor Gretchen Whitmer during her State of the State address. We enjoyed our 70th anniversary open house in September. Led a national and statewide effort to gain athletic eligibility for early college 13th year students. Felt pride at the success of utility tech and manufacturing students in state and national competitions, and we continued productive partnerships with Alpena Public Schools, AMA school districts, employers, local, state, and federal leadership, while serving as a trusted resource for dozens of groups and organizations requesting meeting space to conduct important community business. In terms of infrastructure, this is looking ahead. In terms of infrastructure and capital improvements, ACC intends to add more on-campus student housing. We are working to raise approximately $4 million to add another 48 beds to our existing 64 at College Park Apartments. We will seek funding from the state to upgrade the National Natural Resources Center. That's expected to cost $8.5 million. We want to upgrade Oscoda campus and find resources to add housing there. And we plan to complete the Center for Manufacturing Excellence project. We continue to focus on improving the appeal of campus through our college-wide ambient learning initiative. So bottom line, on behalf of the faculty, staff, administrators, foundation, and trustees, I resolve to continue working together so that next year and the years thereafter, AC students at commencement will feel moved to chant, ACC, ACC, ACC. And thank you for your support. Look forward to next year and the good things that will happen then.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production. All rights reserved.